Hey there, hi there, ho 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 there. Welcome back once again. I did it last year. I'm doing it again this year. It's a good joke, and I'm gonna stand by it.
It's
Uh,
a good goof.
yeah, it's a good goof. We're
True.
back once again. Long time no see. I've been really bad at this. I've been real bad at getting these shows out. I feel bad about it, but uh, it's Christmas, man. I think last episode we recorded was at the beginning of November. Still don't have it up as the recording of this, but it's kind of edited and ready to go. I'm just being a lazy bum about it. Sorry. Uh, yeah, but it's Christmas, man. We have to do our annual Christmas episode. Don't you agree, co-host and partner in crime, Nick?
Yes, I do, JJ. I'm here. We're here to, um, in some ways, put coal in everybody's stockings. In a couple cases, depending on one in particular. But yeah, last year was Mickey's Christmas Carol.
No, okay. So year one, we did Mickey's Christmas Carol.
Right.
Year two, we did the Muppet Christmas Carol.
That's correct. And
so
both of those were great.
Yes. So trends would say that we do another Disney Christmas Carol, but that would have meant we would have to do like the Jim Carrey Christmas Carol, and we both looked at that and said, absolutely not. So instead, we're going to do a combo breaker. This.
Not sure.
On this,
we did debate the Santa Claus as well, though.
Yes, we did debate Santa Claus. Maybe next year, because I think we could have some fun with the Santa Claus, especially when you just realize, like, man, Santa dies in that movie, man.
Sure does. And Tim Allen's problematic.
Tim Allen, yeah, but it's still a good movie.
Yes, it is.
But Tim Allen was always problematic, so.
That's true. He never stopped being problematic.
Yeah, he was problematic from the start and sort of just stayed problematic. So you can't really be disappointed in him when he just keeps being problematic.
I will tell you, this episode's great. Disney Plus saved the day with this episode, folks.
Yeah, 3 of the 4 episodes, because that's what we're doing. We decided we're going to do. I've called this a very jolly afternoon. We chose, even though it's not true for one of them. But the spirit is the same. We decided to choose 4 Disney or Disney adjacent holiday specials for TV. We'll get to that. Well, we'll talk about them when we get to that. We'll just keep them a surprise. We'll keep them wrapped with a nice little bow until we open them up and start talking about them.
No peeking.
No teasing. Although we've already teased, which some of them are.
Yeah.
But yes, everything with the exception of one, and the one that wasn't on there, I don't understand why it's not on there, because it was just a normal episode of the show. It wasn't any longer or anything. They could have just shoved it in there, but it's not on Disney Plus, and I don't know why. But luckily, the horrible YouTube version that's up there that I shared with you does have a nice treat to go with it. So,
does it? And stay tuned after.
Yeah, I think we'll just start with that one because it's definitely, of the 4 that we watched, I think it's the worst of all 4 of these that we did.
Maybe, yeah.
It's just. So it's the first one is A Goof Troop Christmas. Have yourself a goofy little Christmas. So it's let's see, December 5th, 1992 is it?
Yep.
The version that we watched was part of the Disney's Wonderful World of whatever that they were doing at the time. Was hosted by Michael Eisner, and so this has an intro with Michael Eisner and Max Goof, but it's like it's the Disneyland suited Max,
but with a voiceover.
Yeah, and boy, man, Michael Eisner has like the charisma of like a rock. He can barely keep it together long enough. Like, he has no charm, he has no enthusiasm. He's just sitting there, and he's just like this, just like he's just a lump in a suit trying to be holly jolly, and it's terrible.
Well, I mean, it's just all right. Can I do my Michael Eisner impression now?
I sort of expected it.
So we got Goofy. We got some Goofy and some other stupid crap for you idiots later. Tune in for a special preview of Aladdin. Put your money on that thing. I don't care.
So yeah, this originally
it was on a Saturday, by the way.
Yeah,
Saturday, December 5th, 1982.
It's actually technically the series finale of the show, which is sad. But yeah, it's. I remember watching this when it came out, and now it's like I go back to it, and I'm like, oh man, I hate this.
Sure do.
It's
I had some weird takes from this episode too.
It's so weird because it sort of like distills what Goof Troop was down to like its bare components, where like Pete's a butthole, but also Goofy sort of deserves it because he's a menace.
Yeah, like he kind of, and Max also kind of sucks.
Yeah, Max is also just being a brat, and like the only like characters that have any sort of like genuine goodness to them are Peg and PJ. Like,
I feel like Peg kind of wants to like hook up with Goofy.
It certainly feels that way. She's definitely trying to work around behind Pete's back there. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's because it's like the opening. First of all, this whole thing seems like it was sort of designed to try and make a new holiday song a thing from Disney.
Yeah, because
they tease it in the intro with Eisner. It's like, oh, we also get to see the reindeer rumba or the reindeer dance or whatever the hell it is. And
it's reindeer rumba, yeah.
Yeah, and they mention it in the beginning of the episode, and he's like, oh, I don't want to do the reindeer rumba, and then they like do it at one point, which causes chaos, and then like it's that song also saves the day, and it's just like
it plays over the credits.
Plays over the credits. Man, they wanted to make that thing a thing so bad. It's like, and I feel like it's that same thing because like the Simpsons will tell you, like if you listen to the commentary tracks of that one episode where they really were trying to get like embiggens and cromulent, they wanted to get a word in the dictionary, and so that's why they started coming with that stuff. And I feel like it's the same thing. Like we really want to make the next Christmas song that's going to be right on the radio or whatever. And I don't know why they thought Reindeer Rumba was going to be the thing, because it's like, it's very specific kind of song. It's almost a parody of Christmas music, and I don't know how they ever thought it was going to be popular.
Also, Goofy kind of sucks at Goof Troop, guys. I'm sorry, he kind of sucks.
Yeah, and they sort of upped him to 11 on this special just because they needed to have the more strife between Pete and like Pete's mostly in the right, except he is kind of like a jerk. Like when Max's presence gets destroyed, and he's like, well, tough luck, kid, and just like fucks up.
To be fair, you think about what Pete had been put up with, like, ha, your car's on fire, you stupid asshole. Sorry. Merry Christmas to me. But that's what he was saying.
Yeah. So I also Pistol says don't have a cowbell man in this special, and she's voiced by Nancy Cartwright. So for whatever reason, and it's just like it's very weird. Yeah, this whole thing's very weird.
When you hear it, you're like, oh, okay,
yeah. And this is 1992, like we said, so you know that where Simpsons is running on full cylinders at this point.
Yeah, we're
in the salad days of Simpsons in 92.
We're like, what, this season, what,
3 or 4? Because probably. Like first season 1 took place mostly in 90,
Yeah.
And, like 3, 4, 5, 6. Those are like
Oh,
those are yeah,
the peak.
the peak Simpsons.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so I like, Pete is like sick and tired of Goofy decorating too much because it's
Yeah.
just he overdoes it. He's decorating like a madman to an unhealthy degree. I'm assuming because he has a lot of energy that needs to get focused out because his wife's presumably dead, or he just has a
Yeah.
lot of divorced dad energy that he can't do anything with.
Just
Um,
taking pictures of Max. Like, he loves it. His
yeah,
favorite thing is this wrestler from the
yeah.
1980s.
Max begged me to find him a Bill Freilich SLU, and it's his favorite football player. Yeah,
From Pete's perspective, you think just like, oh, Goofy's driving my property value down with this nonsense.
this is nonsense, and he's a menace. And so eventually he just like, all right, I've had enough. We're all going to what they don't call it. They call it Aspirin, Colorado, don't
Yeah.
they? Or
Yeah.
is it just or is it just that they can't say Aspen, or that is it Max thinks it's aspirin?
I don't. They go
But
to a
anyways,
cabin.
yeah. Anyways, it's definitely supposed to be Aspen, but they call it aspirin, which is funny. Pete needs to go get aspirin, which because Goofy's causing him a headache is basically the joke there. So
And he's his next door neighbor, so
yeah, so they load up and drive off and go to Aspen, leaving Max to like mope around for no real reason. He's just kind of bummed out because he doesn't like his dad decorating. Like that's his biggest problem is the decorating.
I don't think he likes his dad, dude.
Yeah, he clearly is not a big fan of his dad because like even after Pete is being a jerk to him and everything, he has to go and his dad's like doing a good job at cooking and everything. He still has to apologize to Pete, like, "Hey, I'm sorry for my dad. He just loves Christmas." It's just like you don't have to apologize. He's actually in the kitchen cooking dinner right now. Like he's being a good guest at this point. But yeah, everyone just sucks, man. I forgot how bad everyone is in this show. Like,
I still love that Goofy named his cat Waffles.
yeah,
Waffles?
yeah. But yeah, so Max ends up being able to convince Goofy with very little persuasion that they should go to Aspen as well. Like there is no like, oh, you want to go there? Yeah, all right. he does. He is more like, won't you miss the Christmas lights? Hey, don't you think we need to change of pace? Yeah, all right. And then they're off. Like there's no like, there's like, yeah, all right.
And as we've established, Goofy's not balling. He's like from the Goofy movie. Isn't he like a photographer for a department store?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like,
I don't know. I have no idea if the Goofy movie and Goof Troop are actually canonical to one another. Like they could be, but also
it feels like they are.
It feels like they are. All the characters are there except, obviously add Pauly Shore and a couple of other characters.
Is Powerline canonical?
Yeah. I assume if they were to ever bring Goof Troop back for inexplicably any reason, there will definitely be some Powerline.
Also, just Disney, please don't do that.
Don't do that. Goofy is bound to have some sort of standalone thing again. I'm actually surprised they haven't they haven't announced anything with like because they just brought back the Disney shorts, like new shorts that are going to be on Disney Plus or are currently on Disney Plus, and like I'm surprised there hasn't been like here's the new because they did DuckTales, which makes sense, new Donald Duck stuff, and it was really good.
We're getting Rescue Rangers.
We're getting a new, but that's a live action animation hybrid.
Yeah.
That's gonna be weird, but like I'm into the cast on that Rescue Rangers.
Yes.
And they are doing Darkwing Duck. That is the thing that they're making.
Which is set up.
Yeah. I like the setup in DuckTales for Darkwing Duck, where Darkwing Duck's like a TV show in that universe, but then like also kind of
the original actor becomes Negaduck. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's cool. That's cool. They did some cool stuff with that.
Um,
So yeah, inevitably Goofy's got to have something in the pipeline. You would think.
JJ, I'm gonna.
Unfortunately, it's going to be a Goof Troop revival. But I could only hope that they'll go about it in a much more satirical way.
Yeah, because I might say this phrase again during the course of this episode, or this podcast. But hey, this is a '90s show.
Yeah, man.
It's like
Boy.
everybody lives in the suburbs.
Yeah, everyone lives in the suburbs. It's snowing. It's beautiful. It's wonderful, and they can somehow inexplicably escape. Everyone they inexplicably escape to Colorado for its Christmas vacation on a whim. You
Yeah,
don't see Goofy or Pete ever saying anything. It's like, "Hey, we're going on vacation," to like any theoretical boss or
yeah.
anything. So they just go.
I got 80 hours of PTO, Goof. Oh gosh.
Goofy,
I used them on COVID.
yeah, I just assume that Goofy has been like milking the system or something. Like he's had back pain for most of his adult life. I have a feeling.
He's also drawing Social Security off his dead wife.
Yeah, yeah. So maybe he was in the war and he's getting like a pension of some sort or something. I don't know.
Wait, did they say that he was a veteran or something like that? Was that ever like a thing? Or
it feels right.
yeah, like Goofy got some shrapnel on his ass and
Yeah.
and now he's.
Anyways, Goofy ends up as the next door neighbor to Pete in Aspen, Colorado. And obviously shenanigans ensue. There's a bear subplot that's constantly like they're constantly running into this damn bear. And it's very similar to the Simpsons bear.
Yes.
Simpsons with this whatever the Simpsons call the wild, whatever that one is called.
But it's not Humphrey. It should have been Humphrey.
It should have been Humphrey. It's definitely not. But yeah, they keep running into this damn bear, and that's sort of the end is where they and inevitably Goofy screws up everything so much that he goes to kill himself. It seems like he just walks off into the middle of the snow, and Max chases after him. And I like that even like the Pete family is like in the cabin's like they're like heading towards the cliff. It's like, are they implying that he's gonna like jump? Like, what is going on?
I mean, at some point, people will go, just let him go.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah. But yes, we definitely do get in the middle. The thing that sets it off at the grand finale, the grand climax of making Goofy walk out to the middle of a blizzard in Aspen, Colorado, is they're cooking dinner. He puts the big crock pot on the fire, seal it up, and then they start doing the reindeer rumba, which is absolute nonsense song and dance number. And they're so distracted that the pot explodes, destroying the cabin in the process.
Leaves the door there, though.
Leaves the door there so you can have the hilarious cut of Goofy opening and closing the door as he leaves.
Now they live in the APA's office.
Yes. And so they all end up hunting down Goofy and Max, and all the presents get destroyed, obviously, except for one.
Which is a picture of Goofy and Max
doing the reindeer rumba. Whoever took that photo, unclear. You could assume was it the mom that we don't ever see.
It was a Sears Portrait Studio guy.
They made him watch that whole routine.
I don't get paid enough for this.
Yeah. One of two episodes we're going to be talking about that heavily revolves around a photograph.
Yeah.
So you have them finding themselves in a cave with the bear, and like the Pete family shows up, and they all do the reindeer rumba to distract the bear.
And the bear starts doing it.
And the bear starts doing it, and then they all live happily ever. They sing Silent Night for a little bit on a horrible tree that they found.
Yeah.
And and,
After,
and,
after
and Pete, it ends with the hilarious joke of Pete saying next year we should just go to the Bahamas. So
ah,
it's it's bad. I didn't think it was going to be this bad when I chose it, and then I'm
it's
watching
okay.
it. Like boy, this sucks.
It sure did. Like
uh,
you watch it, you're like, I think I hate Goofy.
Apparently, there's an episode of Goof Troop called Winter Blunderland where you could hear the reindeer rumba playing in the background of the episode. So, when this aired on TV, you definitely got the behind as Michael Eisner with so much energy, presented the promise of a behind the scenes look at Aladdin and two classic shorts. And just in case you're curious, the shorts were both Donald Duck shorts. It was Up a Tree, which was the one with Chip and Dale and Donald Duck.
Yep.
And the Toy Tinkers, which was, I think that was another Chip and Dale one.
It's the one where they're shooting like the walnuts at each other.
Yeah, it's like they have like they start getting into like they start like dressing up like World War I soldiers. Yeah.
They should have put Mickey the one Pluto's Christmas Tree on there. You think?
Yeah. See, well, that's the thing. When I first thought about doing this particular episode, I was like, I should just do those old Disney shorts. But I'm like, there's just so many of them. Like, those are 3 that we just mentioned, and I know there's like 4 or 5 more, and there's not much to talk about other than
Chip and Dale do a thing.
Yeah. Chip and Dale rile up Donald Duck. Okay, well, what's the next one? Well, Chip and Dale rile up Donald Duck. So, this time with a World War I sort of theming.
They use mustard gas on Donald Duck.
Yeah. It's the you can watch it now. It's the Snyder cut of Chip and Dale Up a Tree.
Yeah. There's cussing in it.
Yeah, Dale says the F word, man. It's 3.5 hours.
Okay, 13-year-old, you'll love it.
We don't censor Donald for the first time ever. They don't censor Donald.
Did you fix Superman's mustache? No.
Absolutely no.
We didn't fix that.
So yeah, boy, not good.
Don't take this one out.
No, I would say,
I mean, if you liked Goof Troop, let's say this. If you're a big Disney afternoon person,
if you liked Goof Troop and still like Goof Troop, then it's just more Goof Troop. So, if you haven't watched Goof Troop in a while, I don't start with this one. Watch a middle episode and be like, "Boy, this sucks." Then there's no,
literally all of Goof Troop's on Disney Plus.
Yeah, except for this one.
Except for this one. But go watch it. I mean,
it even has the weaker of the Disney afternoon theme songs. So
God,
the Goof Troop. Yeah, trash compared to all of the other theme songs.
Garbage ass Disney afternoon. Sorry.
Yeah, you know what didn't have a garbage ass theme song, Nick?
What's that?
Darkwing Duck.
No, had easily, I would say, behind Darkwing, or besides DuckTales, the best Disney afternoon theme.
Daring Duck of Mystery.
The long version.
The right. Creeps out. It rules. It's a great song.
It was always great when they would show it, like they would show it sometimes, and they do the long version of the intro.
Yeah, that's how you knew it was. It's a short episode, so they need to pad it out. It's like when they do in The Simpsons, you get the chalkboard gag and the dance line version of it that kind of keeps going, where they just keep getting like can dancers and a circus shows up and stuff. Like, they had a 22-minute episode. They need to pad it out with this intro.
And it would also, they'd show it when Darkwing Duck would show it air on ABC, where it originally started, Saturday
Yeah.
mornings. It was always long intro. Long intro's dope. That song's
Yes.
still great.
December 23rd, 1991. It's a Wonderful Leaf.
It's a Bushroot episode.
A Bushroot centric episode. It starts off with Bushroot doing Christmas shopping on Christmas Eve, which is an absurd premise.
We should explain. Darkwing Duck had a pretty good rogues gallery, if you think about it.
Yeah, it was all. Yeah, I mean, like they were all Batman parodies in
Sure.
various ways, but they're like all really good versions of Batman
You
parodies.
had Quackerjack, the Liquidator, Bushroot. What was the electric guy's name?
It's like I can't remember his name now.
Because Negaduck's the main baddie.
Yeah, Negaduck is like, yeah, it's like the
Taurus Bulba.
Yeah. Now
Steel Beak.
Yeah, Steelbeak.
Yeah.
Just like a weird Jaws ripoff.
And then you have the side characters like Launchpad and Gizmo Duck and Morgana, or like all these kind of
it definitely takes place in the DuckTales universe, which is just wild, like still.
Because Launchpad's in it. He's the thread.
Yes. Now I'm looking at the Darkwing Duck Rogues Gallery just because I want to see pictures of them all. Taurus Bulba, there he is.
Yep.
Negaduck, Megavolt. Megavolt is. I'm trying to check. Okay, so
he's Taurus, a rat, I think.
Yeah, he's got the little. Yeah, he's got the buck teeth and everything. Yeah. So, it's okay. So Taurus Bulba is just your generic kind of heavy villain, like a rhino type character, kind of thing. Negaduck would be like the Earth 2 version of somebody or something like the.
He's Professor Zoom.
Yeah. Anyway, it's got Megavolt, which I don't know what the Batman equivalent to that is. Would be like the Shocker for Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Quackerjack, who is just the Joker.
Yeah, or Arcade, I guess.
Yeah, or Arcade, yeah. Combination of both.
Yep.
Paddywhack.
Looks like Paddywhack?
A spooky clown duck. Like he's like a mime
looking thing. Oh, him. God, he was like a rarely used one.
Yeah, there's the Liquidator, which would be like Hydra Man.
Hydra Man, yep.
Yeah. Bushroot, who I guess is Poison Ivy, but like a gender swapped Poison Ivy.
Right.
Steelbeak, who is he's like the leader of like the James Bond style syndicate.
Yeah.
Foul or whatever.
Yeah.
Ammonia Pine, who's the cleaning lady.
That's right. I forgot about Ammonia Pine.
Yeah, let's see. There's Magica Dispel, Bugmaster, and now you got some weird. There's Hammerhead. Okay, now we're getting into the weird other characters.
Getting into the weeds, like Bushroot.
The Eggmen. Yeah. So anyways, Bushroot is the star of It's a Wonderful Leaf, the Christmas episode of Darkwing Duck. So Nick, you chose this one.
Yep.
Did you choose it for any particular reason, or did you just wanted to watch Darkwing?
It was a Christmas episode of Darkwing Duck. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, as we were saying, Bushroot is doing some Christmas shopping.
He's at the mall. People are rude.
People are rude because it's Christmas and everyone's like trying to get the best present and they're fighting over it. It's your typical Christmas kind of silliness that you see on TV.
You're this really annoying pig woman and her child.
Yeah, and so he just snaps and he vows revenge on Christmas. Basically, I'm gonna make Saint Canard wish Christmas never happened. Cut to Darkwing saying that like it's a shame it only happens once a year.
Drake Mallard in
Yeah,
the most Bill Cosby looking sweater.
yeah, that was the running gag with him too because it isn't the first time we've seen him in the Cosby sweater. Like
Yeah,
yeah, they kind of because okay, so he's like so yeah, Drake Mallard would be. This is very much '60s Batman. He's very much an
yeah,
Adam West style Bruce Wayne, where he's just kind of
yes.
campy. Um,
Once again, everyone lives in the suburbs, so let's play
yeah,
this out.
everyone lives in the suburbs, so he's living. He has like his Wayne Manor is just a very nice house in the middle of I Saint Canard, which
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know where in relation that is to Duckburg. Um, but
Lunchpat's helping him
yeah,
decorate the tree.
yeah, yeah, gets tied up in the tree.
And then,
I,
go ahead.
no. You go. What were you gonna say?
Enter Gosling, who sucks also.
Goslin does suck. She's a loudmouth, bratty child. Uh, I absolutely do forget what her backstory is with
She's
Darkwing
an
Duck.
orphan.
She's an orphan. That
Yeah.
so it's the whole like she is a ward of she is the Dick Grayson without
Yeah,
any of the responsibility of being Dick of Robin.
yeah. In the I think I can't remember if it was a 4-part pilot or a 2-part,
Yeah,
but whatever it was, they set up where she was an orphan that helped him out, or so I think she's like a street orphan or something like that.
yeah,
But she's oddly entitled from coming from nothing.
yeah, yeah. Um, she's comes ripping in on a sled, wrecking house, destroys Darkwing's childhood sled. Well, oh well, and then like tries to open up one of her presents that she has. She rolls out the typical kid in a sitcom thing where she rolls out the laundry list that she sent Santa, kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, because I asked for a sled, so this one must be it.
The old fashioned scroll of like
Yeah.
the
I did like Gosling's design in DuckTales, the reboot. It's like a very good, like she's got like the track jacket and
yeah.
everything. It's a much better design than this weird Gosling with the twin, like the Pippi Longstocking style.
And the random sports T-shirt. Yeah,
Yeah, the #1 sports T-shirt and the red Converse.
yeah.
And in typical Duck fashion, no pants.
Yep.
It's got pinks. It's just, the sleeves are rolled up and they're pink, so it means it's pink on the inside of that shirt, which is weird.
Yeah. She's a tom. I mean, Gosling's a tomboy. That's what she is. But she's also like very bossy and
yeah.
I forget the little guy, Honker. Yeah.
Yeah, I
he's
hate
a little.
Yeah,
he's a little nevish guy. Like,
yeah, bottle like Coke bottle glasses and you know his family, like his dad is the big fat dad, like the typical sitcom dad and everything.
It's the Pete family again.
It is, except he's not a butthole. He's just kind of dim.
Yeah, he has like he sounds like Pat Buttram.
Yeah, he does.
That's his voice.
Yeah. So yeah, Bushroot in vowing revenge on the city raises an army of Christmas trees
that attack people. Yeah,
to attack people. And
shoplift.
Are the stars supposed to be like mind control over the trees or something?
I guess because there's antennas on them.
Yeah, so he's like controlling them that way, and so like so at first he uses them for like weird petty crimes, like he's testing them out. So it's just like
steal stuff at the mall.
Yeah, start fights at the mall, which is very funny.
Which doesn't take much.
Yeah, like take the bell from the Salvation Army guy, and hit him with it, and then put it in the hand of another guy, and so it just starts a fight between the two, and like steals presents and stuff.
like the pig woman I mentioned,
Yeah,
her and this hillbilly trucker guy get into a fight.
yeah,
The same hill at the beginning of the episode, the hillbilly trucker guy just basically jacks something from Bushroot, which kind of sets this whole thing in motion.
yeah. Darkwing, in an attempt to get into his Darkwing outfit, because him and Launchpad go to the mall that same day to do their last minute Christmas shopping. And now there's commotion afoot, and he ends up accidentally dressing like Santa.
Yep.
So,
And well, at first Bushroot dressed as Santa causes chaos, so they're like,
yeah.
"Oh, Santa's evil." And so Darkwing dresses as Santa, and it's like, "Oh, everybody's coming to say hi, Santa," and they beat the crap out of him.
I'm trying to think. I think there was a Spider-Man comic where Rhino, I think, ends up accidentally like he ends up dressed as Santa or something. And by the end of it, he has to keep the facade going, even though like Spider-Man has like there's like it's so the kids don't get like Santa correlated with being this bad guy and stuff. It was like a weird thing.
I want to
One of
find
those.
that issue now.
Yeah, I have to track it down. I just saw it pop up the other day. I have to look it up again. Um, but yeah, boy, Bushroot's plan is actually really good.
Yeah,
Considering his power set. Actually, really impressed with how well this plan theoretically could work, but also at the same time, they are just trees.
yeah,
And there's not really much else to talk about this episode because it's just like a it's your typical comic book hijinks of like battles across the town and stuff.
they freeze the trees.
Freeze the
Goslin,
trees.
they
Yeah.
lose the next door neighbors lose their presence.
Yeah,
Goslin, who was
because
greedy at the beginning,
has her change of heart and shares her presence with the next door neighbors, Honker and Team. And then she ends up getting her, she gives away all of her presents, but then there's a sled present from Santa on the porch or whatever.
yeah. And there's always
And,
that one gag, like, "Well, if you didn't leave it,
and
and I didn't
didn't.
leave it," yeah.
It's funny that this is like a children's show. Like that works for a show that's not a children's show, but like this is a children's show, so the conceit would be that Santa does exist in a children's show. But they're playing it as if Santa doesn't exist, and now all of a sudden they're shocked that Santa does exist.
Right. He hasn't existed this whole time, but he's going to just drop a present off now.
Yeah, he's never dropped a single present off to anyone in St. Canard ever, except to this one time where Goslin learned the lesson of sharing is caring.
Yeah, but I love that goof. Like, "Oh, if you didn't leave it, and I didn't leave it,
no,
you don't think?"
Yeah.
Pan up to the sky. Yeah.
Yeah, pan up to the sky. Ho ho ho.
Whoa. But yeah, it's a nothing episode, but it's empty calories.
It's empty calories. I actually like this episode. I thought it was fun.
Me too. Yeah, I did too. It is
exponentially better than the Goof Troop episode.
It's also 90s as hell.
Yeah, but I don't think there's a single one of these that isn't 90s as hell that we've chosen.
Actually, you know what? No, yeah. That one's 90s too.
Yeah, like, come on, man.
No, my other choice. I was like, what year was it?
Yeah. But also, like, you just think of the content in that episode. Like,
oh, yeah, okay, you're right.
Yeah, come on, man.
I forgot.
Yeah. So, I would rank this one above. If we're gonna rank these 1 through 4, this one's definitely the leader right now. It's definitely and a substantial leader.
Yeah, it's. The difference is that felt like a standalone Goof Troop episode. This is like it feels like it's another Darkwing episode. Like it fits into the. If you like Darkwing Duck, you will probably enjoy this episode.
Okay, according to the trivia here, this is the only episode that the title doesn't appear in big white letters. And this is also the last appearance of Tank.
Tank is the.
Which one's Tank?
Who's Tank?
Yeah, what's the?
Because it's her model foot as a neighbor.
Yeah. So was Tank the son, the boy, the brother?
Oh yeah, the kid with like the big like
The heavy set.
dopey.
Yeah, the what would be Honker's brother.
Yeah, he's a
Like,
goon basically.
yeah, he's like a bully.
Yeah,
He tries to like murder Santa in the
yeah,
beginning. He puts a bear trap in the fireplace.
yeah. It's like, what the hell, dude? Yeah, Tank sucks, so that's fine.
The original name for this show in the show Bible is A Bushroot Christmas. That is okay. That's They went
No,
with the right name for this
yes,
episode.
they did. Yes, they
Uh,
did.
the doll
Uh,
that Bushroot takes off the girl when she is on his lap when he is pretending to be Santa is a Darkwing Duck action figure.
yes, it is. Which Playmates put out. It's like the Playmates one. Yeah,
Yeah,
little spinning hat.
yeah, yes, I had all of those.
Yeah,
I liked the Megavolt one because I always liked the figures that had the dangerous flint feature where you're gonna roll this thing on the back and sparks are gonna fly out of his chest. They have that, like Megavolt was that way. There was one of the Captain Planet action figures did that,
didn't
and there was a McDonald's Happy Meal toy of the DeLorean that did that.
do you remember the cat firing Punisher?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually giving children, like back when you could give children small amounts of gunpowder.
Yep.
Good days.
JJ, one of the unexpected treats from this episode for me was the credits, which is just the theme song, but with like heavy saxophone.
Yes.
No really lyrics.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, this
it's
dope.
Yeah, it's a little sexy. I mean, weird. It's weird.
He's like, I'm gonna like try to find like the end credits of Darkwing Duck.
Yeah,
that's going on my Spotify playlist. Just like when I want to feel hip.
Yeah. Next, Nick. I think we need to travel to New York.
New York, you say?
Yeah.
Upstate New York, maybe?
Upstate New York. West. Is it Westchester? I always forget. It's Westchester, right?
Westchester. What's in Westchester?
There is a school there. For gifted youngsters. Yeah.
Is it institute?
It is an institute.
Yeah.
It's the Xavier Institute for Gifted Youngsters, in fact.
You don't say.
Yeah, December 23rd, 1995. Which, let's see, what? It's a Wonderful Leaf. What year was that? Was that 91? So
91.
4 years later, you get Have Yourself a Morlock Little Xmas.
Yes.
It's the night before Christmas, and you're immediately greeted with, well, first and foremost, they didn't create a special Christmas theme song for this one. You still get the same like ripping X-Men
theme, which hey, don't mess with it.
Yeah, you don't mess with perfection.
Yeah, it's yeah. Well, the only one that's close is that sweet Japanese intro.
Yeah, true.
That thing is pretty good.
Yeah, but man, oh man, that theme is so good.
It is, and I hated when they would show it when you see it on YouTube and it would get copyright stricken.
Yeah,
I was like, no, I just came for the theme song.
Yeah. So yeah, Have Yourself a Merry Little Xmas. It's a later episode of the show. I think it's from the second to last season. According to this, it's episode 62 of 76.
Before the animation studio changed,
before they went over to the new animation studio for that like last leg of the series. When that last leg of the series is also when it started and now here's Captain America and stuff. Like really.
That was was this the season where we had atheist Wolverine learn about religion from Nightcrawler?
Yes, because shortly, I think around this episode, you also have the one where, Wolverine and Nightcrawler have a serious religious conversation.
Which is heavy for a kid's cartoon.
A kid's show. X-Men, the X-Men cartoon is really what launched my addiction to comic books.
Same.
I watched the X-Men cartoon before I ever read an X-Men comic.
I think I did. I know the toys was a big deal for me then.
Yeah,
I want all of these.
like before this, like I had read comics. I loved Spider-Man.
Sure.
I didn't
Your
read
favorite character.
Batman's. Yeah, I didn't read Batman stuff, but I
Right.
did. But I loved the Batman as a character. 89 Batman, and
Hmm.
Adam West Batman when I was a kid was a big deal for me, and all that
Probably the
stuff.
Christopher Reeve Superman, I'm sure.
Yeah, yeah. But like this was like that the X-Men came out at like the perfect time for me as a kid. Me and you are quite a bit. There's some age between the two of us,
Yeah,
but
but I'm 12 when this or when
yeah,
X-Men comes
I
out.
was still in
So
I'm still in grade school. So I was born in '85, and this Christmas episode is '95. So I'm 10 when this Christmas episode comes out. Um,
so I'm 15, but I'm still watching it.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
here's the thing. There's a sweet spot with Fox at this time.
yeah, yeah.
They you saw Batman. I think it hadn't switched to WB yet.
No, no.
Okay, which when that's when it started getting bad.
Yeah.
But you,
The first, there's a significant stretch of the X-Men cartoon where it's absolutely fantastic.
yep,
Um, and then it becomes a noticeable once they start like stop adapting storylines and stuff is when things start. This episode takes place in sort of the downturn of the
you're right.
X-Men,
Yeah, right.
um, where it's just sort of becoming its own little self-contained entity and not trying to adapt the X-Men. It's just the X-Men now. Um, so yeah, this I don't understand the timeline because by this point X-Men had been on for a very long time, but this is Jubilee's first Christmas with the X-Men.
Yeah, which is
um,
weird. It's like, yeah,
yeah. So it opens up with them with Rogue, Jubilee, and Scott decorating a Christmas tree, singing "Deck the Halls." And when it starts off, I'm like, is something wrong with this episode? But it really is just the voice actor for Cyclops doing a bad job singing "Deck the Halls" because Scott is lame as hell. Uh,
if there's anything about the X-Men cartoon that I didn't like, is it made me hate Scott Summers. He sucks so hard, dude.
I
This
love in this.
cartoon.
I love in this episode because Scott is just dressed like a tool. He's in like a brown turtleneck with Dockers.
Yeah,
Meanwhile, Rogue has like that green jacket with like orange pockets and like really 90s sort of like style.
yeah,
Uh, and Jubilee is wearing a Cosby sweater.
yep,
And Jubilee is trying to get Logan, to just like, come on, get all up. And Wolverine's bah humbugging it.
yeah.
Uh,
What's the term? It's the brooding character. It's like it's a trope in Japanese anime.
yeah. Yeah.
The sin. You know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't know.
Like the Vegeta kind of character, or
Oh,
the
yeah. I don't try to pronounce words from that because I never really
do it.
understood. No,
Pronounce it.
no, I don't know. I
But
forget.
it's the grouchy character with a heart of gold.
Yeah, yeah, and that's Wolverine is playing it up. Uh, yeah, Wolverine is playing it up big time in this episode. Um,
This episode reminded me though, man. That's Wolverine's voice.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah. In when like this, Hugh Jackman has been Wolverine for so long, and longer than voice actor for Wolverine in the cartoon, but like, and there've been other voice actors, but there's no point in history where I'm reading a comic book and I don't hear this
yeah,
voice in
this
my head.
voice. Who? God, yeah, the guy who did like the Wolverine in the X-Men cartoon, or
Yeah,
like the
it's Cal Dodd is the
yeah.
voice of Wolverine in this
Steve Bloom does it later on.
and Steve Bloom does it later on. There's been some weird Wolverines. There was a video game where it was Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I'm looking
Cal
at
Dodd is. Go ahead.
I'm looking at Cal Dodd right now, and I'm just looking at his profile, and it's not particularly much of anything, but it's definitely filled with a lot of Wolverine. He had a single credit on Fraggle Rock. Let's see. Yeah, he got X-Men Children, all the video games from the time.
That's right, because at this
Yeah,
point, they're like they incorporated a lot of the voice cast for the
yeah,
Capcom fighters.
yeah. He was
Tornado blow.
he was Slappy Dummy on for a Night of the Living Dummy 3 in the Goosebumps TV series.
I remember that one.
Anything else? Let's see. Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Rescue Heroes, the movie. Okay. Atomic Betty, The Adventures of Chuck and Friends, The Ron James Show, Paw Patrol. He was in an episode of Paw Patrol.
Oh, as Wolverine.
As yes, Ron Rapid Fire.
Gene.
I made you a convertible.
Yeah, yeah, but I mean the whole like Bub Rookie.
Yeah, yeah. Like you know, like
Drill Claw.
yeah, like when Wolverine in the first X-Men movie, when Hugh Jackman does that, and what do they call you, Wheels? Like
Yeah.
you can hear that line
Yes, you can.
as this Wolverine. Like he's almost trying to like summon it up, but he can't quite pull it off. But it's easy to picture Cal Dodd's Wolverine being like, "What do they call you?"
It's also at the end of the movie too, where he comes back in the statue. He tells Sabretooth, "Hey, Bub, I'm not finished with you yet."
Yeah,
You can hear it.
yeah. I one of my favorite Wolverine-isms in the entire series is calling Gambit Gumbo.
Yeah.
I can't get like because Gambit's a loser.
Yeah. He's skeezy.
This episode this episode has this fun B plot that these shows never have a B plot. There's never a B plot in these X-Men shows. It's just like focus on one thing. But there's a B plot in this one of Jean and Gambit arguing in the kitchen over Christmas dinner. And it's the weirdest thing because Jean is worked up. she is like actually like physically assaulting Gambit in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And Gambit,
because he wants to make it like you make it spicier.
Yeah, he's trying to make it Cajun.
Yeah.
And Jean is just not having it, and like he's reaching for the spices, and she's freezing it with her mind, and it's just like ongoing. Like they cut back to it every once in a while. They're still arguing in the kitchen.
JJ, it kind of occurred to me that Jean's a bit of a Karen. A
Yeah.
little bit of a Karen.
Especially in this episode.
Especially the show, period.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel like the image of Gambit in a striped like rugby shirt.
Right.
in a chef's hat, an apron, and he's got an ascot too.
Yeah. Because of course, because of why not? Like lest you forget he's Cajun.
He's Cajun. He's Cajun, mon ami. But then Wolverine needs to like okay, so you cut to everyone doing their stuff. Beast is making punch.
Yes.
It has a whole monologue about it not being alcoholic but still good, which is very weird for a kid's cartoon.
You've seen there's hair in the punch too.
Yeah. It's definitely There's no way there's not just floating blue hairs in this punch.
So we're talking about like this show influencing the movies.
Yeah.
The Beast voice in this 100% influenced getting Kelsey Grammer to play Beast, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely right.
When he started talking, when he starts talking, like by this point in the series too, he's got it so tuned in that you're just like it activates that Kelsey Grammer part of your brain where it's just like this Kelsey Grammer.
Yeah.
It's not Kelsey. You can't convince me otherwise. This isn't Kelsey Grammer.
He's just super erudite style of speaking.
Yeah. So, and then you cut to Xavier and Storm watching them all skeevily from the monitors. Like, I'm so happy everyone's here. He's not spending any time with them. He's just happy that they're there.
Yeah. He's like, Storm, there's something in my your presence needs my wheelchair blanket. Charles!
Yeah.
Goddess, no!
Goddess, no.
Charles, my hand! Sorry.
Uh, you got me. Anyways,
Hey,
there's a big explosion. Uh-oh.
oh no!
The X alarm is going off, making everyone race to Beast, covered in blood. Oh, but it's not blood. It's his cranberry glaze. It exploded. Unclear how that happened. Clearly, he was playing God with cranberries, and it blew up on him.
Yes. Pretty much, yeah. It was like,
Yeah.
how does that happen? Okay.
It's that scene from The Simpsons where Homer is like Mr. Burns' assistant for a while.
Yeah.
He's Smithers, and he pours the milk on the cereal and it just catches on fire.
On fire, yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
it's the same thing.
Yeah, this is the guy that fixes the Blackbird. He can't make glaze.
Yeah, this man made cranberry glaze explode, setting off the danger alarm. And you expect him to fix your SR-71 Blackbird? Got tucked away in the hangar? That seems he can't even do a simple thing. You want him to do a hard one?
He reads books upside down for no reason.
Yeah. Wolverine comes charging in and just sees that it's just more holly jolly nonsense, and he's just like, I can't handle this anymore. I gotta get out of here.
He gruffs his way out.
But he gets convinced by Jubilee and Storm to go shopping with them. They got to go to the mall. Which
is funny because last time the X-Men were at the mall, stuff went down.
Yeah, not good, a lot of good things didn't happen when that happened. This is when Morph died. Come on, guys.
Oh, good. Morph's dead.
Yeah. By this point, Morph had come back and is re-dead. So I think he's double dead at this point.
Yeah, he was one of the Horsemen, right?
He's one of the Horsemen, Evil Morph. Remember, you could tell he was Evil Morph because he had bags under his eyes.
Yeah.
That they gave you that head with the action figure too.
Stupid Morph.
Fake character. Fake cartoon character.
Yeah. Just kill it. It's like, just kill him off the first episode. Okay.
We have to kill a character. Well, we're not going to kill one of the X-Men, so we got to we'll make one up.
He's Warbird, or who gets killed in Giant Size 1, like right after his
Warpath.
Warpath, yeah.
Or even like Mimic or something.
Yeah. At least Mimic's the actual character.
Yeah.
Not this dopey idiot who makes bad jokes.
Jubilee's so excited to be at the mall.
Of course she is.
She is a mall babe. It is the 90s. This is very 90s. Wolverine just can't wait to get out of this damn store. Like, he makes a break for it. They give him his opportunity and he makes a break for it. And then they go ice skating at Rockefeller Center, which is a weird cut to like have Wolverine on ice skates, and then you have like Jubilee in her like weird like jogging pants, like she's in like
again, this is the 90s, sir.
Yeah, she's like leather jacket, long yellow gloves, and then spandex, like she's going for like she's on like an Olympic team or something. It's the weirdest. Right. Meanwhile, Wolverine's just in like a suede jacket and jeans.
What, it's Wolverine.
Yeah. And so they're doing this. They're all skating around, and then Wolverine smells trouble. Literally smells trouble.
Yep.
And an ambulance crashes onto the ice. Storm uses her powers to sort of save the ambulance. Unclear. So it turns out it's the Morlocks, and Wolverine is very racist towards Morlocks. But yeah, it's unclear what the Morlocks are trying to do. They stole this ambulance and then immediately crash it. You're doing a very good job at saving your friend, who you find out they're trying to save. Leech, which is a character that we've met much earlier in the series.
Season 2 or in
Yeah,
a season 1, right?
yeah, it's one of those. Um, and an episode, this plays into it too, where Storm becomes leader of the Morlocks by the end of
That's
the
right.
episode. All
Yeah.
that stuff. Yeah, and that plays into this episode. Um, so they all like, oh, we got to go save Leech, basically. um,
I don't want to save him.
yeah, Wolverine not interested, but follows anyways. You meet up with Callisto again, who again was the leader that Storm dethroned
Yes.
in
Which is like,
previous episodes.
it's basically like the X-Men comic where Storm and Cyclops have the hand-to-hand combat battle for leadership of the X-Men.
Yeah.
It's just this.
Yeah, except they didn't want to have they couldn't have a black woman be the leader of their superhero team. It needed in the cartoon, so you gotta.
Yeah.
So
Although
Scott is the leader in.
Here's my like side commentary. Storm is the best X-Man. Just gonna leave it at that.
There we go.
Like Wolverine's a great.
Definitely. Storm has ethics. Storm really does want to help people. Storm really is. She's level-headed. She has the best
powers.
She has most useful powers in terms of like getting stuff done. Like it's really easy to get stuff done when you can just control the weather.
Yeah. She has always been my favorite female comic book character. Like I love Storm. Storm's amazing.
She's a great character. Well-rounded character. She's got an interesting history. Her like backstory of her like being powers manifesting and being claustrophobic, but like having her powers manifest and sort of being treated as a goddess because like, of all that stuff.
I mean, it's cool to see like a person of color like in this big prominent role.
Yeah.
I liked her dynamic with T'Challa when they were married.
Yeah.
And then this little, that was all cool.
Yeah.
Storm's pretty dope.
Yeah, and she's never really lost her way. She's always been like, there's never been like, Scott has been a bad guy,
a couple times now.
And Storm's just always been just like, she wants to help people, and she truly believes in Xavier's sort of thoughts. Like she truly believes in like trying to create unity between humans and mutants. So she's a great character. She deserved to be the leader of the X-Men. Instead, she's the leader of the
sewer children.
So this episode goes to the weird part where Leech is dying. Unclear of what or why, other than maybe pneumonia.
The legacy virus.
The legacy virus is all you get. You have the little girl who I forget, Mariana.
Is that her name? Mariana?
Yes. Yeah, it's like Mariana. And she has these big, giant anime eyes.
Oh, God.
She is from a completely different cartoon. It's the weirdest character design in this thing.
She looks like a Precious Moments figurine.
Yeah. Or like something from Bug or something. Like
and of course she's attached to Wolverine.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like I do like it's like, don't you believe, do you believe in miracles? What's a miracle? Because she lives in the sewer, she doesn't understand miracles.
Like Sir Poop falls on me every day.
Jubilee, please. So you have you end up having to get this thing where they're gonna prep him to go to the X Mansion, but Wolverine's like, he's never gonna make it. So tough luck, kid. See ya. But then they convince Wolverine to do a blood transfusion
because he's got the healing properties,
the healing factor, and they go into this whole thing of Like what? It's like, don't you think I haven't tried? Like he's done it like how many times? He said like I've done it a bunch of times before. It's only worked twice.
Yeah.
Last time it was a kid and it died. um, and I had to look it up. Like, has this ever actually been a plot point in the comics before?
Where he gives a blood transfusion. I
Blood
don't.
transfusion? Because so I had to look it up, and it happened very recently.
Okay.
Apparently, he saved Brother Voodoo with a blood transfusion.
Also, Brother Voodoo's in there. Wow.
Yeah. Well, there's a team called the Savage Avengers, which is as cool as it sounds.
Yeah.
I think it's like Conan is in it and stuff. Because like
Nice.
Conan is now in modern times in the comics. It's cool. It's a cool team, and but as far as I could tell, it's never really been a thing in the comics, and it makes zero sense. It's not his healing factor isn't derived from his blood.
It's
It's like it's his DNA.
yeah.
It's dependent on all of it working together. The organs, the blood, the DNA part of his just pumping his blood into somebody. It's not. It's like the Wolverine Origins movie. It's like you can't just take. It's not like there's like an energy source that you pluck out and then shove into Ryan Reynolds and now he has laser
Yeah.
vision. It doesn't work that way. It would never work that way.
No.
Unless the only way that makes sense is if you're like cloning or something, because now you're using DNA on a different level than just pushing it through somebody
Are
else's.
you also getting his blood poisoning from the adamantium?
Yeah, exactly.
Like I do remember, like, do you remember the episode of the cartoon where like Cable like ejects him with a legacy virus, just so he creates the antibodies and then he takes it?
Yeah.
It's like, whoa, that would have been like way easier in the comic book instead of like drawing it out.
Yeah, the comic books ended up dealing with the legacy virus for like 8 years.
it was very much just, hey, it's AIDS.
Yeah.
But with for mutants.
But for mutants. The government made the legacy virus, just like how the government made AIDS.
Government sold crack to inner city mutants.
Yeah. Anyways, the transfusion works, and they all have a Merry Christmas in the Morlock tunnels. And Storm relinquishes her role
leadership back to
after seeing the Mandalorian finale and then this side by side. It's like they share that similar.
Yeah,
it made me laugh. I'm like, oh man,
yeah.
Except it worked for Storm. She just gives Callisto the power, and then it just leads Gambit furious in the kitchen because nobody's coming back to eat his food that he worked so hard on. And it's like, we could just reheat it tomorrow. You do not reheat food like this. Gambit sucks.
He does. Yeah, he does. He's a way better character in the comic books, but he's still kind of skeezy.
Yeah. Well, at least in the comics, he gets to be like legit skeezy.
Yeah.
Like here he has to sort of float around this sort of like he has to be like he's a good guy, but he's also Pepe Le Pew.
Yeah.
And it's like that's and like in the comics, there's like, well, he was a bad guy, and he's got a shady past, and there's the Sinister connection, and he flops back and forth between good and bad, and he really is kind of a sleazeball, but he does have a good heart a lot of times, and so
I do like that fan film you sent me though.
Yeah, that crazy short film that just recently popped up. It's got Eric Roberts in it for some reason.
Because what else is Eric Roberts got going on?
He'll agree. He clearly will agree to anything. It's like, you want to be in a movie called A Talking Cat? Sure.
A talking cat ? ! Exclamation point.
And you're going to be the titular cat.
You're going to be the cat. Also, you're going to be in the Dark Knight Return.
Dark Knight. Yes. Inexplicably, we're also going to put you in one of the biggest movies of all time.
Yes.
He has the craziest career in the world.
Yeah. Because the first thing I ever saw him in was Best of the Best.
Yeah.
It's folks, that's a great film. It's the American kickboxing team versus the South Korean kickboxing team.
I do. Okay, I'm reading the trivia section for this episode of X-Men,
Sure.
and I love this. When Xavier mentions all of the X-Men are together, he seems to be forgetting Morph, Angel, Iceman, and Lorna Dane. He may no longer recognize them as part of the X-Men. However, the X-Men he's referring to are the main characters of the series, and the producers probably chose to ignore the others.
Yeah, Iceman wasn't really a thing in this show, man.
No, no, no. Had a
He was like,
had that cool figure though, where you put him in the freezer and he turns kind of
yeah,
blue.
yeah,
But now that figure hasn't held up very well, and they're all like really gross yellow, like he was formed with like yellow snow or something.
yeah. Yeah. It's weird because the thing with this cartoon is it didn't really go with it kind of acknowledged the canonical like original X-Men, but not really. Yeah.
The trivia on this one is great because it's
Let's hear
like it goes into like weird, minute details that are like weird. Okay, when the alarm goes off, Cyclops touches his left breast to communicate with the others, even though he is not wearing his uniform. However, he may be wearing it underneath just in case, or had similar communicator built into his sweater. Nerds. Given the nature of the Marvel Universe, Leech may have been refused service at the hospital for having powers, and not simply because they were out of control. What?
Okay. This is like just a lot of supposition here.
Logan's failure to help others that he talks about is never mentioned or elaborated on again, leaving one to wonder what just happened. This is also not based on any events in the comics.
Okay.
Only episode to feature a direct message to the audience, though Storm does come close to breaking the fourth wall when talking to Jubilee.
What the? When was the trivia for this written? Does it say?
No.
This makes you think it was written in the early days of the internet.
It certainly feels that way. This is
Yeah.
one of those fandom wikis.
Yeah.
Jubilee claims to have never have had Christmas with the X-Men. However, season 2 claimed that the final decision was a year before that. It's possible that this episode is meant to take place earlier in the series. Oh man. Plague, who became a member of the Horsemen of the Apocalypse in The Cure, appears with the Morlocks just as she did before her transformation, without any explanation as to how she returned to normal.
Hey, don't worry about it, is the explanation.
Callisto's eye patch and scar switch sides when Storm examines Leech, revealing that the footage was merely reversed.
There she do. There she do switch sides. I didn't even think about that.
The only Christmas episode in the Marvel Animated Universe. It's the first usage of Wolverine's nickname Wolvie. Only appearance of Mariana.
Okay. Thank God.
Last significant appearance of any Morlocks.
Also good.
Was this Thing mentioned the Christmas figure Santa Claus and his reindeer in the Fantastic Four episode? Like, Thing mentioned Christmas. So that's got some continuity. Christmas would not be mentioned again until Spider-Man Unlimited.
Jesus.
Just really, I do like that the Thing was the next character to mention anything Christmas related in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, since he is he is a Jewish character.
Was it from the original Fantastic Four for that weird Marvel Power Hour one?
I'm going to assume Fantastic Four TV series. So yeah.
Okay.
So that's a weird Wikipedia.
That trivia is just deep cuts.
Just nerds complaining. As is the internet way. What'd you think, Nick? What'd you think of the X-Men?
I liked it. You know, it's kind of like it's again another empty calories episode, which these all kind of are in a way. But,
I think
it's better than Goof Troop.
Better than Goof Troop. I don't think it's better than Darkwing Duck.
I think it's equally as good, but I'll defer to you and say, yeah, we'll put Rick at number 2.
Yeah. Uh, uh, an episode that's not empty calories. I don't know. I just try it.
Yeah,
This one has a message to it.
sure
Uh,
does. The
uh,
message is
and don't shoplift. Therefore, and with that, I definitely do. It is completing my plea bargain with the good people at Foot Locker of Beverly Hills. Uh, the last episode of the night, the one that you chose. Uh, this is the one that stems. This is not an afternoon, but it is animated and it is on Disney Plus. It is December 17th, 1995. It's a season 7 episode of The Simpsons. It is Marge Be Not Proud.
yes. The theme of this episode is "Buy Me Bone Storm"
Or Go to Hell.
Yes.
uh,
Great
man.
freaking episode, man.
I'm not the biggest fan of the sort of like the Marge, like her like bummer part of the episode. It's just kind of it's too short, and it's almost too much of like Marge being depressed is almost too much in this episode.
Yeah.
But this episode is filled with so much good content and goofs.
Yes, it is. I do. I like. I mean, people probably have seen this episode, so we can just kind of talk around it. But I do love the get one for Caitlin too, Mom, you idiot. I'm not sharing.
Stupid. I do have a surprisingly plentiful supply of Leaf Carvello's putting challenge.
Yes, exactly. But it is the one where Bart wants the video game, which is Bone Storm, but it's also it's Mortal Kombat. Or I love where just Liu Kang fighting a tank.
Yeah, it's two Goros fighting. Like the first time you see it, it's Liu Kang fighting a tank.
Yeah,
that commercial is incredibly accurate.
Yeah,
like exactly the kind of like if you opened up an EGM or Game Pro in like 1995. That's what the kind of ads were. They were all because remember, like Daikatana had that John Romero's about to make you his bitch.
Yeah,
and it's that kind of nonsense. That commercial fits it perfectly.
Gaming is like my life, and hazes is the shit. Sorry, what? That was Axel, I think. Or no, it was it Corn? Oh, maybe. But yeah, shove this up your stocking. Just a great episode.
Yeah,
I do like the Bart. Like I know you said you like the bummer Marge thing, but like she's like, he's not a baby anymore.
Yeah,
it's oddly sweet in a way. This episode.
Yeah.
You know, her little boys growing up.
It's the one time where Bart really takes it seriously, like
that he's screwed up,
and he recognizes it, and he knows exactly what he did wrong, and you can see it like and feel it in him that he knows what he did was wrong, and he desperately wants. Like this is the one time where he actually is trying to go out of his way to try to fix it, but doesn't know how. Bart usually doesn't have that sort of like internal like strife that way. So I think between that and the episode where Bart kills that bird, or like the two times where like it has like an actual like emotional turmoil.
Where he has a moment of crisis. But it's basically the Simpsons go to a department store to get a family picture done.
Yeah,
and
that's after the fact. That's after he's stolen it.
After he shoplifts it.
Yeah. So when he goes to, he wants to rent the game, or he walks by the thing and he says at the android's dungeon, it has
99 cents.
Bone Storm 99 cents, and it's like, here's 99 cents. Give me a copy of Bone Storm. And he breaks it down. Here, why don't you take my money? I don't need it.
Since you were unfamiliar with the concept of sarcasm.
Shut this now.
I like he puts a knife there.
So Bart bummed out that he couldn't rent it either because they were all out of copies, and Milhouse has a copy, but he got to put in the game rules, and he only put in his name.
Yeah,
Milhouse.
that great hair blowing back thing.
which is always a good.
Throw. To be fair, Milhouse's parents are trying to like compete for his love.
Yeah,
He's in a broken home.
and this is like the brattiest Milhouse has ever been.
Yeah,
in a while. Where he's like, Bart just wants to play. And he's like, no, it's a 1-player game.
Mom, Bart's smoking.
Yeah. First one is Bart swearing, and then the second one is Bart smoking. Which is so he goes by the try and save afterwards, and sees the spoiled kid demanding his mom buy his Bone Storm and gets another one for Caitlin.
Because he's not sharing.
Yeah. And that's when he comes across Jimbo and Nelson. They're stealing. Which is the 4-finger discount. Because remember, the Simpsons only have 4 fingers.
I forget what Jimbo is stealing. Like something absurd. It's...
Well, he had like the football under his beanie.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
And I forget what Nelson has. I remember Nelson later has a spare tire for a wheelbarrow.
Yeah.
But I don't forget what it is here. So yeah, they encourage him to steal it. And then Bart has video game characters pop up to convince him to steal. You have Mario, Luigi, Donkey Kong, and Sonic the Hedgehog. Like, take it.
Like the most coked out Sonic.
It's like a Sonic that's never really existed, but I prefer that Sonic over the Urkel Sonic.
Canonical Sonic, yeah.
No, it's like Sonic's really just more like a all right, yeah.
I like chili dogs.
But then Lee Carvello also tries to convince him not to. Which is, think of
I am Carvello.
But Bart steals it, and then he gets outside and he thinks he's succeeded in getting away. But then you have Detective stops him at the door.
Is this the guy who does voice acting for the security guard? Is it George C. Scott? Is that who it is?
No, it's Lawrence Tierney.
Okay, it sounds like George C. Scott though.
Yeah, he has that. He's trying. It's like a cross between like George C. Scott and Peter Falk.
Yeah,
like
or no, little Robert Loggia in there too.
Robert Loggia. Yeah.
Robert Loggia.
No, this is Lawrence Tierney in a like. Boy, he's just like. I'm looking at it. It's his first movie was 1943. Wow. I'm trying to see what. Let's see. What would you have seen? Let's see. What would you have noticed him in? He was in Junior. That's funny.
Okay.
Reservoir Dogs is Joe Cabot. Let's see. Why me? Naked Gun from the Files of Police Squad. He was the Angel manager.
Okay. So, all right. Yeah.
Silver Bullet.
Oh wait, who is in Silver Bullet? Yes, I do. Who's in?
Owen Knopfler. Pritzi's Honor. Okay, wow. Gloria. Blood Rage. Abduction. Boy, a lot of stuff in the 60s. Bushwhackers. The Greatest Show on Earth. Steel Cage. The Hoodlum. Shakedown. Kill or Be Killed. Born to Kill. 1947's Born to Kill. Okay. Yeah, no, he's just a classic Hollywood actor that they somehow roped into doing a Simpsons episode.
Just a character actor, basically.
Anyways, so he takes him to the back room where he shows him like the opening of the video, the shoplifting video, but doesn't let it finish. Which is where the joke that I told at the beginning of this, thus, like, hi, I'm Troy McClure. Thus,
Yeah, you have the bad tracking and everything.
Yeah, and it is like, it's like, I'm here today to give you the skinny on shoplifting, thereby completing my plea bargain with the good people at Foot Locker of Beverly Hills. Really makes you wonder what he did at Foot Locker Beverly Hills, what he stole, because it could be like, we know what he has. He has deep, dark passions. that we learn when he marries Selma.
It has
Or
to do with
Pat,
fish.
has to do with fish. So who knows?
I'm also now sad that Troy McClure will never appear in
I
Simpsons
know.
again.
Such a bummer. We really got
Yeah.
robbed. We really got robbed of some good stuff.
Of two amazing characters and just a great
Yeah.
comedian. Yeah.
Man, Lionel Hutz and Troy McClure. Oh man.
Yeah.
No, money down.
I mean, my son, by the way, which shows you how great a father I am, has learned all the words to Dr. Zayas now.
Can I play the piano anymore?
Of course you can.
Well, I couldn't before.
I
Yeah.
love legitimate theater.
So yeah, he
He lets him off, but don't
lets
come
him
back.
off, but yeah, you don't show your face around here again. And I do like his phone conversation when he leaves the message for his parents. The name's Detective Don Brad. Yeah, Don Brad. And then when he hangs up, he's like, "They weren't there." Yeah, that's right. Having the same kind of like conversation with himself.
And then Bart switches the tape out.
I do like that joke because Bart switches the tape. He races them home. I forget what the joke is when he's racing him home and what Homer is trying to race home for.
Forget what it is. Yeah, it's. But Marge are the kids at Camp Granada.
Oh, it was Maggie's diaper. Homer was racing home to change Maggie's diaper.
Yeah.
But like he switches the tape out with an Alan Sherman tape of "Hello, Mutta. Hello, Mutta." And now to put the tape where no one will ever find it right in the case with this, so, as if they're not going to take it because they're not going to swap the tape out.
Yeah,
it's great. So Bart off scot-free, he gets away with it.
Off Georgie scot-free.
Yeah, he doesn't get to keep. No, it was a bad joke because it would have been great if it was actually George C. Scott.
All right.
Now but if you want to do this, one of the best Simpsons jokes of all time does feature George C. Scott with the
my groin.
I love that. Oh, that's so good. Okay, now see, it's all come back around. You win again.
Yay.
So anyways, Bart wins. He doesn't get to keep his bone storm, but he also doesn't get found out. Next morning, in a good mood, he wakes up and, hey, you got to get you. First of all, Homer has bought nothing but eggnog.
Yep.
We've only got 30 noggy days until the government takes it away. And Lisa is having heart palpitations from eating her cereal with eggnog. So dumb. I love it. I just like 30 noggy days. Nobody likes eggnog that much.
I don't like it at all, to be honest with you.
But anyways, this Marge tells him to get his suit on because they're going to be going to the Try and Save to take their family photo.
Because the other family photos were
ruined by Bart and hey, I don't remember saying that.
I love the word balloon.
Yeah.
Where he just has the word balloon, says, "I stink."
Yeah. Just like Homer's reaction, like, I don't remember saying that. Remember the original action figures of The Simpsons?
Yes.
With word balloons
with word
stick in their heads.
Yeah. Those are actually like really hard to they go for a good penny now.
Yeah, they were good figures. They were that weird hollow rubber.
Yeah.
Those are cool.
What sucked is like I remember Kmart was like heavily discounting them at one point. Yeah. Where it's like,
they had the couch and the car. Yes. They had the whole shebang. That was a good line.
Nelson was a peg warmer, but it was like based off season 1, I think.
Yeah.
2. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, Bart gets busted there. He tries to avoid. He's like, all right, just in and out, right? In and out.
Yep.
But Homer wants to look at flip-flops. And I forget, he wanted to hassle the kids or something.
Yeah. or what's Lisa's thing? I want to.
She wanted to see if they got the new dictionaries in.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, sure, we'll make a day of it.
Yeah. Um, Bart's like imagination running like of him and Juvie with the, like that's an incredibly elaborate scenario he's thought up with you drop your token in, you drop your chip into the trunk, you'll get your Christmas present.
My Christmas man, probably.
Yeah. What does Bart get? He gets a spoiled wig.
Yeah.
Nelson gets a book of carpet samples. Jimbo gets like the Thursday edition of the paper.
I've actually done that before, just like that guy behind the glass.
Yeah. Just a really defeated, sad looking guy, just for some reason dressed as Santa.
Yeah.
So yeah, Bart gets busted here. I do like this. I do like the goof of like him standing in front of the TV so Marge can't see it when he's going to play the
surveillance photo,
surveillance footage, but it's just a wall of TVs, so he can't. I do like it when it cuts back and Homer's like stealing. He's like going on a rant, as if
Homer's been worse.
Homer's like one of the first episodes is like him stealing cable and being happy about it. Also, I want to point out that he said that Bart broke the 11th commandment, which is yeah, like wait, what?
This is also after Homer had already stolen a jackknife sugar truck full of sugar.
Yeah. First you get the sugar, then you get the power, then you get the women.
Simpson, you diabolical.
Yeah. But yeah, so now, Homer. I forget what I was. I took you all those Police Academy movies. You think we're going for fun? I didn't see anybody laughing. Just unnecessary dunk on the Police Academy, except for that guy that made all the sound effects. And then Homer goes on.
What were we talking about?
Oh yeah, stay out of my booth.
Yeah.
I love the joke also when Homer's like, okay, I figured out Bart's punishment. No eggnog. I forget, like no eggnog, and no shoplifting for at least 3 months.
I do like, what you were talking about, Bart's disappointed, like, because Marge usually tucks him in and he's like waiting for her to tuck him in.
Yeah.
And she comes like, good night.
Yeah. And just shuts the door. On him.
Yeah.
I do like the it's like he gets the cocoa and she's like, you're old enough to do it yourself. Put the marshmallow in there.
And then it expands and then he cut it. And then Grandma shows up.
Cut me a slice. That goof, for whatever reason, is burned into my brain. I think about it. There isn't a cup of hot chocolate that I've had in the past.
No, I know.
Right. The past 30 years where that idea hasn't popped into my head. And also I think about it and I was like, that'd probably be really delicious if that actually happened.
Because I'm kind
of I do like when Bart goes over and visits Milhouse again. Bart's really doesn't seem to be in any kind of trouble.
No, they're just disappointed aimlessly.
They're just disappointed. He's not grounded. He gets to go over to Milhouse and hang out. Where Milhouse is bored of Bone Storm. Now he's really fascinated by this cup and ball. He's being a cup and ball.
I don't want to. Let me try it. Bob!
Bart's smoking. And then the really creepy, like, Bart's like, can I just hang out with you while you do mom stuff?
Yeah.
And it ends with the tell me I'm good. Yeah, a really creepy moment from Bart there. And then he hears his mom laughing, he hears Marge laughing, and they're all building
Snowmen.
snowman.
The Snow
It's like,
Family.
yeah, Snow Family. It's like looking
It's
in
like,
a snowy mirror as Homer has created a buff version.
yeah, I think there's still some snow underneath the car.
Like, that's just being mean. That's not even
Yeah,
being like, you could have left normal snow for him.
yeah.
Jesus.
But he has to get like the undercarriage snow.
The snow that's just covered in like, like rock salt and like road dirt and shit.
Yeah.
So you got this like misshapen, melty brown snow Bart in the front.
Yeah.
like a bootleg Bart shirt from like the
Yeah.
90s where they inexplicably made it black.
And he hated Hussein. Yeah.
Yeah.
But look, boys, like look into a snow mirror.
Yeah.
That's the other, remember the other Homer goof where he's buff, where he's like, I have a photographic memory. Where he's buff.
Yeah, there's also the one where Marge is quizzing him about his alcoholism.
Yeah.
And he's doing like he's looking at himself in the mirror and he's doing like the peck dance because he's all buff.
Yeah.
This episode, we really just chose this one so we can talk about The Simpsons for another 45 minutes.
Yeah, which is, we don't need excuse.
Yeah. We do it we've already mentioned The Simpsons 28 times before ever getting to the episode of The Simpsons.
Yeah. It resolves itself. Bart makes amends. He goes and gets a solo picture taken, puts it on the family portrait. Or Marge is like, "Oh God, why did you do this time?" And then
because he's trying to hide it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cute that he has the receipt stapled to the frame.
Yeah.
To prove that he paid for it. I guess he's allowed back to try and save.
But the other great part is,
yes,
Marge gives him his gift early.
Yeah. I asked the clerk what every boy wants. She gets him a copy. Gets a copy of Lee Carvello's Putting Challenge.
And this is like one of those ones where like it's not the normal credits, and it's amazing.
Yes, I think about it all the time. There isn't a time where, because I like playing golf games. I like golf video games, and I can't play one without at least doing the Lee Carvello Putting Challenge thing. It's like, you chose 3-wood. May I suggest putter? 3-wood.
I suggest feather touch.
You chose power drive. The way he says delivers power drive is
Paul is in.
Push 767 for the initiate swing.
Is this on the Jaguar?
It's like on a like Commodore 64 or something.
Yeah.
And it's like ball is in parking lot. Play again. You have chosen no.
You have selected no. Which is like, I am Carvello.
That's so good. It's such a good goof. The Lee Carvello's Putting Challenge thing is like one of those everlasting goofs of The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Like it has penetrated my soul in a way that so much of The Simpsons have. Like there's so many things. It's like Tribopoline. Like that's all that is. There will never be a time in my life where the word trampoline is said that I don't think Tribopoline.
Saxophone.
Yeah. Pretzels. Pretzels are forever ruined for various reasons. We call them white crackers, or she's like, "Where's the pretzel money?"
My sister and I, who are grown adults, occasionally we have an empty bottle. We'll do the foo, 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 foo. You want to help Daddy think?
Yeah. Oh, it's so good. They're just like, there's so much of this, like, and like this episode is season 7. This is still, we're in the middle of peak Simpsons. Like it is jam-packed. Like you have another good 3 seasons until the Simpsons start their downward trend of just sort of mediocrity or worse
for the next
times.
20 years.
Yeah.
But
it's always funny every once in a while. Yeah.
It's a good Christmas episode.
Yeah, it's a great. Simpsons, and Simpsons always has a Christmas episode, and they always have a Halloween
It
episode.
debuted with a Christmas
Yeah,
episode.
its first episode was a Christmas episode.
Which I debated picking, but I was like, this one's better.
This one's a better episode.
Yeah.
Almost all of them have Bart screwing things up in some way. It's like the Thanksgiving episode too.
I feel like the one with the annual gift man wasn't an actual Christmas episode.
Yeah,
but it was just a one-off character. But
yeah. Okay, so this is only the second Christmas episode of The Simpsons. Because it started off in season 1 with a Christmas episode,
right.
And then this one, and then after this one, they do a Christmas episode every year now. Just make an annual. So that's cool.
Yeah, it's one of my. It is an off-quoted episode for.
Yeah. I like the. It's like capiche.
Yeah, capiche. Just like Marge, are the kids in Camp Granada?
Yeah, I do like it when Bart is picturing him when he transforms when the detective transforms into the seat of the car.
Yeah,
and still doesn't know what capiche means, so he hears it as like catfish in his own mind. It's
for some reason that remind me of Lisa. We have articles of microfiche.
Man, yeah. So this is definitely, of all of the things that we've chosen today, the best of them all.
Yeah,
it's funny from start to finish. Like even when it's being a bummer, they find a way to inject some good humor into it because Homer just has is able to pull out some good juice.
Yeah, where he's like trying to. Where was I? Oh yeah, stand on my face.
Yeah.
But yeah. I also loved. I love just Milhouse's reaction when he's got the cup of milk. Whoa, whoa.
Man. Yeah, I don't know what the video games. It's so funny with The Simpsons because every time they do a video game, it's trash. Like, it's always this weird, like, it's not quite. It's like sub Nintendo style. It's almost like an Atari 7800 game in most cases or something.
Yeah. Well, like, even like the first season where he and Bart are playing that boxing game.
Yeah.
And he like pays that kid to
teach him how to
play it. And the funny thing is in the Simpsons arcade game, that kid's outside of it.
Yeah. But yeah. No, I love this episode. It's great.
Yep.
It's clearly the number one of this. So I think number one is this. The dead last is the Goofy one, and the X-Men and Darkwing kind of neutral. They're
neutral. I mean, Darkwing and X-Men are equal as far as just alone theme songs.
So yeah, 1995. Wow,
that's forever ago, buddy.
Yeah, man. So another Christmas one in the hole here, Nick. Who knows what we'll do next year?
Another Christmas in the trenches, as one Kevin McAllister said. It's been a crazy year, brother.
Yeah, boy. I initially intended for season 1 of Disney Compendium to like only really take a year and a half or so, but really stretched it out. We're catching up. We'll get to it.
I know part of your project is kind of dependent on things opening up next year, so yeah.
So, I doubt it, but we'll see what goes on.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Hopefully, you get your refund at some point.
Theoretically, I should get it in February, since that's like 2 months away. Like I got the season pass in February, and it's almost February. So it's insane. It's so insane. I got to use it precisely once, and then everything went to hell. And who knows? It's been a bummer. And not to make excuses or anything, but like just the sort of climate of everything has really just sort of blown the wind out of my sails creatively in a lot of ways.
No,
but I feel like the last episode we did was good, and I'm looking forward to jumping back in headfirst into the movies. We are
Yeah.
next. If everything, not probably not next week. Next week's
Yeah.
crazy. Next week's
Yeah.
Christmas, and we got the New Year's and stuff. Probably going to jump back in at the beginning of the year. I've got some
Yep.
content to go up. I still haven't gotten the last episode up as we're recording this. I'll put this episode out before the last episode we recorded, so I can have this up by Christmas.
Sure.
But yeah, probably after the beginning of the year is when we're just gonna power on through and get through the rest of the movies, because we don't have that many left.
No, we're in the home stretch.
We're in the home stretch here, and there's really nothing
Bad.
bad, and there's not really anything particularly new on the immediate horizon. With Disney Plus, I mean, there are things, but yeah, we'll get there. I don't know. Season 2, which we've already sort of set up, was theme park stuff, and we can still do the theme park stuff, but I feel like in the climate everything is in, will it be the right time to start talking about theme park stuff? There's not going to, in terms from a pure content standpoint, is talking about the theme park when nobody can really go to the theme park we're going to be talking about make a lot of sense. No. So we may have to sort of do a interstitial or start doing something else in between. If things don't start. I'm really, part of me wants to jump into Pixar stuff.
Mm-hmm. I'd be down for that.
Part of me wants to jump into maybe some of the weird, like, other Disney movies that were popular at the time, like Goofy movie and things like that. Like, there's some other options to go in there, maybe just sort of these middle of the road things until things start to seem to, even out with the theme park. Because, as we're recording this, Disneyland is still not open, and has no sort of path to being open.
And Disney, the state I live in, California.
Yeah, California as a whole is like nowhere near. Yeah, like you're about to get probably restricted more, if anything.
My state is juxtaposed to Disney World, which is in Florida.
Yeah, yeah, wide open, Florida, wide open. We could, but like that's not really what my focus of season 2 was going to be. My focus of season 2 was going to be Disneyland with a minor focus on Disney World. But I don't know. I don't know if it's the right time for that at this point. As much as I want to do it, maybe get an episode 1 out, because I feel like the episode 1 idea of sort of the history of the concept is at least something. Mm-hmm. But I don't know.
We finally did a blank check episode we've been talking about for so long.
I mean, like at a point we just listen, at a point, Mr. Boogedy and stuff like that, we always joke about that we're going to do a Mr. Boogedy episode, and inevitably we're going to have to do it.
It's going to be April Fool's episode.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's going to be, we're going to do an April Fool's episode.
Yes. What?
I'm not going to say what it would be, because then that would be pointless. But
no,
I have a couple of ideas. I have one very stupid idea that I want to do.
Okay,
I'll tell it to you off the air.
That sounds good.
But yeah, so we'll see. There's also always the, we had fun talking about the X-Men stuff. There's always the potential of doing a sort of Marvel spinoff of it if we wanted to go through the MCU.
Sure.
But yeah, that's the plans for the future with this Christmas one. So, State of the Union-y kind of thing at the end here, as we march into the new year. So yeah, there probably won't be any new. There will be another episode before the year ends after this one, but there won't be a newly recorded one until after the new year.
We recorded a ways back in early November, but
early November.
Hopefully everybody's who's stuck with us is happy and healthy and everything's good.
Yeah. So everyone, we just stay safe. Have a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Here's to a better 2021. Even though,
don't spend all $600.
Yeah. Temper anticipation for the next year a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, things can only get better at this point. At some point, like eventually.
Yeah,
But
just focus on the things you can change.
yeah, focus on yourself. Focus on the things around you. Don't focus too much on the big picture.
Yeah,
Overall, you know
and
what you got to do.
the things that make you happy.
Yeah, yeah. But until then, thank you all, and have a magical day.
Buy me Bone Storm or go to hell.